Welcome to the top 10 most pulled comic books for 12/18/2024. I'm Mike Spider-Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. If you love daily comic book content, if you like me helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy, and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, go ahead and do so now. So, guys, what is this video series? Well, this is the video series where people show their interest in some of these comic books that are getting ready to come out for the current comic book week. It's not definitive sales. We get these pull numbers from the leagueofcomicgeeks.com, where you can create your own pull list each week, each month, or just simply find out what's coming out each week. So with that being said, let's get started with this week's video. So as always, we start with the books that are on the outside looking in, and the first book we're talking about today is Catwoman. This is issue 71. This book is 32 pages for the price of $4. This book has 3,995 pulls, which is not bad for a book that's on the outside looking in, written by Torn Granovic, and the art is done by Marina Ignazzi. So yes, when it comes to this comic book, I currently do not read it. It looks like Selina's on some international hunt, and it happens to be an old acquaintance which has become a crime lord. So that's kind of what's going on in the book, a little bit in a nutshell. I don't know too much else about it because, like I said, I haven't read it in quite some time. If you read it, absolutely awesome. The second book that's on the outside looking in goes to Deadpool. This is issue 9. This is a 32-page comic book for the price of $4. This one is 4,119 pulls. It's written by Cody Ziegler. The art is done by Alexis Guazzarnio. Oh, this is going to be a good one. I could tell, man. My mouth doesn't want to work. Anyway, so when it comes to Deadpool, this was one of my favorite Marvel books, one of the few Marvel books of the year that I've quite enjoyed. We've gotten to see Deadpool's daughter Ellie trying to get revenge on her father's death and possibly bring him back to life. And in this issue, she's going to be going against MODOK, right? And we did get to see him in the last issue, and that continues going forward. The cast of characters are always a lot of fun, especially my boy Taskmaster in here, which she wears his symbol on her sleeve because he's the one who trained her. I think that's freaking awesome. Again, good artwork, solid book. Looking forward to this issue. The third book that's on the outside looking in and makes its debut here on the most pulled comic books list is The New Gods, issue 1 from DC Comics. This is a 32-page comic for the price of $4. I'll definitely be checking out this comic. It does have 4,301 pulls. It shows some interest here. It's written by Ram V, so if you're not a Ram V guy, kind of like me, I'm not so excited about this, but I'll definitely give it a try. And the art is done by Jorge Fornes. The little bit of a description I can give you here, it says, an old god has died and the reverberations of his passing are felt across the universe, setting forth the soldiers of an intergalactic army and awakening the latent powers of a mysterious child on Earth. So, yeah, we'll see what the book has to offer. Does it connect in other ways? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see. But I'll check it out. Will you? Our fourth book that's on the outside looking in goes to Batman and Robin Year 1. This is issue 3, 32 pages. The price is $4, guys. This book does have 4,778 pulls. It's written by Mark Waid, and the artwork is done by Chris Samney. Chris Samney is the highlight of this book for me, as it definitely truly, the artwork represents a year 1 story, right? And obviously this is Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson working together, first time, first year, and you can see that their chemistry is not there with each other. And you got to witness that in the last issue as we get child services coming to the Wayne mansion, making sure that Bruce is taking care of Dick. And then their dynamics on the field is a little bit rough too, trying to adjust to each other and their different personalities. And this continues in this issue as well, as they're going against the Maroney family. And if we can't get things straight, things are not going to turn out too well for the dynamic duo here. So definitely looking forward to this issue. So the last book that's on the outside looking in goes to the Immortal Thor. This is issue 18. This book's legacy numbering is 779, 32 pages. Price is $5 here. This book does have 5,145 pulls, which again is pretty decent so far. However, it has dropped on the list. This used to be a top 5 book, at least top 10, and it is dropping. The writer here is Al Ewing, and the art is done by Jan Bazaladua. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly how you say her name. Anyway, when it comes to the Thor book, I don't know anything that's going on. I couldn't even begin to explain to you what's going on because one, I haven't read it, and two, even if I could try to wing it, it's freaking Al Ewing, and I would probably describe everything wrong about this book. But if you like it, that's cool. Let me know in the comment section below. Kicking off the top 10 and holding on to that 10 spot ever so slightly is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is issue 5. This is a 28-page comic for the price of $5. This book does have 5,385 pulls. It's written by Jason Aaron, and the art is done by Derek Robertson. Now, when it comes to this issue of Turtles, we're going to get Casey Jones in here, because why not? I mean, we've finally gotten to see, right? We saw, like, Donatello, Raphael, Mikey, and, Leonardo. There we go. And we wound up seeing all their stories individualized, and then they came together. And now, since the Turtles have been missing in town, who's been taking their place? Well, it's been going to be Casey Jones, and that's who you get to see featured in this comic book. And obviously, we get to see a district attorney in this book who is against, of course, the mutants. This is another book that has dropped as well, but it is still in the top 10. And number 9 goes to Daredevil. This is issue 16. Legacy numbering 678, 32 pages for the price of $5. This book has 5,400 pulls. It's written by Saladin Ahmed, the current writer for Wolverine, and the art is done by Aaron Cooter. So when it comes to Daredevil, it's still dealing with this like 7 deadly sins type of situation that's going on. And it looks like it's corrupted Matt Murdock based off of the notes that I have. How does he deal with these deadly sins? How does he come out of it? I don't know, but I just can't get by looking at the John Romita Jr. crazy artwork on the cover. I just not a fan of when he draws like bruises on people's faces. It's so like over exaggerated and over the top, but forget about that. The story itself, I lost interest in it after issue 2 or 3, just not my thing. Grabbing onto the number 8 spot, I am a little surprised this is as high as it is, but I think these characters are popular, and this is Titans. This is issue 18. So this is 32 pages for the price of $4. This book has 5,739 pulls. Again, the Titans are popular. People know who the Titans are, so I think they gravitate towards a comic. The writer here is John Layman. The art is done by Pete Woods. Listen, the first 2 issues had to do with this Clock King character, which I really wasn't too much of a fan of, right? And then it was showcased at the end that Deathstroke is going to be attached, which is not too much of an original idea. This book is very much on the fence for me, and it looks like that they're going to be going, I think, against Mammoth in this issue. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really curious what you guys think of the first 2 issues of Titans since the new creative team came on board. Number 7 goes to Wonder Woman issue 16. People still digging Tom King's run on this book, but you can't deny the beautiful artwork by Bruno Redondo. He's a great artist, and this book has 6,431 pulls. This is titled Fury. Part 2, and it looks like a Detective Chimp is going to be in this book alongside with Wonder Woman, and we're still dealing with the Sovereign. So listen, I was on and off. I've told you guys this before. I decided to jump completely off, especially with All In. There was no new creative team really, and so the story still continued. So I wasn't really digging the story all that much, so I passed. But if you guys are enjoying Wonder Woman, like I say, that's absolutely great. I know that there's people that are having a blast with this series. Just outside the top 5, coming in at number 6, we have the Fantastic Four issue 27, legacy numbering 720, 32 pages for the price of $4. The pull on this is 6,550, written by Ryan North, Stephen Cummings is the artist in this book. And nothing for nothing, it does sound like it's going to be a fun issue. It looks like one of the Skrull children wind up getting in trouble at a school. And what happens is they go to the principal's office, and then the other one poses as like is a Skrull, right, and poses as Ben Grimm to get them out of school so they're not going to be in trouble. Again, it's a down-to-earth, fun issue. That's what you like about the Fantastic Four. So, you know, sometimes I hear about what goes on in this book, and I almost regret dropping it at times. So I want to know what you guys think of Fantastic Four. Should I pick it back up again? Let me know in the comments below. I'm jonesing for a good Marvel book, guys. Once again, it holds strong in the top 5, coming in at number 5. Action Comics, issue 1080. 40 pages, $5 is the price tag. 8,858 pulls when it comes to this book. Written by Mark Waid. The art is done by Clayton Henry in this issue. Again, it's weekly. People are reading it. It still deals with this whole Phantom Zone situation, and it looks like the House of L is going to go into a huge fight. So it looks like this is the penultimate chapter of Action Comics Weekly. So we might be getting to the end of this very soon, so maybe it goes monthly once again. So if you've been reading it each week, that's absolutely awesome. We'll see where Action Comics goes after this whole story arc. Coming in at number 4 is another DC comic book, and this time we got Batman Superman World's Finest, issue 34. Another book that's always in the top 5. This is 32 pages for the price of $4. Once again, written by Mark Waid, and the art is done by Fran Gallen. So when it comes to this comic book, it has 9,089 pulls for a number 4. That's pretty solid, right? And this one sounds fun. You got Jimmy Olsen and the Super Pets involved, right? They're going to be having a book with all those cool, cute little pet animals. Who doesn't like that? Like Ace and Beppo and Crypto, and they're going to be going on an adventure with each other. So yeah, that could be fun. It could be comedic, you know. Definitely, if you've been reading World's Finest all this time, why wouldn't you pick up this issue? Coming in at number 3, and it's funny how this character always falls side by side by another character, and this one goes to Nightwing, issue 121. Yes, another DC comic, 32 pages for the price of $5. This book at number 3 has 12,773 pulls. Seems like you guys are really digging Nightwing. All right, no drop off there. Written by Dan Waters. The art is done by Dexter Soy. This book has been pretty good so far, as we've gotten to see Bloodhaven being controlled by this. Bloodhaven is working together with the mayor to like control their security, or the police department, and obviously there's all these gangs that are disarray. You get 14-year-olds that were killed in the last issue, and Nightwing is pissed off. The artwork by Dexter Soy is actually pretty good. I liked issue 120 better than 119, so I'm very curious to see what happens in this issue. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm curious to see if you guys are enjoying this more than Tom Taylor's run. So like I said, this character always goes side by side with Nightwing. However, it's not actually Batman, it's Absolute Batman. This is issue 3, coming in at number 2 this week. Holy cow, I never thought that this book would come in at number 2, but it's against another heavy hitter, and you'll find out very soon. This is 32 pages for the price of $5. Let's see what the pulls are here, guys. 15,146 of you are picking up this book from at least League of Comic Geeks anyway, or putting it on your pull list from League of Comic Geeks. Written by Scott Snyder, and the art is done by Nick Dragotta. I love Absolute Batman. I think he's awesome. I really think he's just done so over the top that it makes it very enjoyable. It looks like we're going to be introduced to more of a cast of characters in this book, because we got introduced to Catwoman in the last issue, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, and when we get more of Alfred, do those two team up with each other? What brutality is going to go on in this comic? Just a lot of fun. Can't wait for this issue. So this book definitely deserves the number 1 spot this week, as it did go against heavy hitters like Absolute Batman, like Nightwing, like Action Comics. I mean, congratulations to this book. And the book that grabs number 1 this week goes to Ultimate Spider-Man. This is issue 12. It's a very merry Spider Christmas, guys. Yes, and this book has 17,613 pulls. It beats out Absolute Batman by like 2,000 pulls. Very awesome. You guys are excited about Spider-Man and his Christmas adventure here. This is the conclusion, though, to this current story arc. So I feel like some things may not be as joyful or as happy as planned, maybe by the time you get to the end of this issue. We'll see. And again, it's written by Jonathan Hickman, and the art in this issue is done by Marco Cicchetto. I cannot wait for this issue. I can't wait for this current comic book week. It's going to be a fun one. But are you guys excited about Ultimate Spider-Man? And now it's time for Spider Slayer's sleeper pick. You guys are not going to want to miss this one. And this week, it ranks number 49. I am surprised. It's Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn. This is issue 1. This book has only 940 pulls attached to it. It's written by Jimmy Palmiotti, and the art is done by Patrick Reynolds. Now, when it comes to this book, you're going to see stories with Gunslinger Spawn that take place right after his origin, or you see his true origin from Spawn 174 all the way up to his present day. So if you really enjoy the character, I think you're going to enjoy Gunslinger Spawn. And if you want to get to know Gunslinger Spawn, this is a perfect series for you. So I'll be jumping on board this one pronto. So there you have it, webheads. There are the most pulled comics for December 18th. Seems like a lot of you guys are excited for some great comics. If there's not anything on here on this pull list, I want to know what you're excited for reading this comic book week. And as always, guys, I'm going to leave you more content right here. In fact, I got the video that a lot of you guys have been waiting for. This was my very best comics of 2024. Plus some other stuff. And guys, as always, thank you for watching. Remember, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but always read your comics so we can have great comic conversation. Guys, I'll see you real soon. Bye.